Hey everybody, this is Dana Silvestri, and today I'm excited to interview not one, but two of my most recent successful clients, Hillary and BJ. Hillary had a lot of knowledge that she had difficulty implementing action on. She had difficulty focusing her energy on her passion, which was helping others, to successfully creating a healthy and fun family environment, focusing and selling her first business, speaking on podcasts, as well as in-person wellness seminars and coaching clients on improving their health and life. And then BJ over here went from not having a lot of clarity on goals, not much desire, lacking fulfillment, and wanting to work on his mindset and improve that, to shifting his perspective to lead a better personal life and parental skills, getting out on social media and working on a powerful goal, which is now starting to work with a youth development club. So I'm super excited to have them both here. Obviously, they're a couple, they're married, so it's even more exciting because it's not quite often you see this in the personal development world. So they're great role models in that way as well. So I'm just going to ask them some questions and help them really paint a picture of their experience with what it was like working together and everything else. Hillary and BJ, how are you both?
We're great.
Excellent.
Awesome. Awesome. So the way that we'll really do this is I'll ask questions and both of you can kind of give a response, okay?
Mhm.
Okay, so first off, we'll go with Hillary and BJ. Tell us a little bit about like what you do and just kind of introduce yourself, number one.
So my name is Hillary. I'm a physician assistant. I work in emergency medicine. I do that part-time. I'm also a mom of two kids, and I took over a flotation therapy business in September of 2021, which is when I first started my business of health and healing with Hillary. And that was my first service. And I am expanding on wellness consulting and coaching clients. And am selling my flotation therapy service.
Amazing, amazing. And BJ, how about you? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, I'm BJ. I work for Hillary's family's business. They have a landfill and scrapyard. I work with them, and we have two kids, and I'm a father to them. And I like to take them fishing, integrate them in my cooking, and just busy with the kids and trying to improve life with them.
And for everyone that's gonna listen or watch this as well, is originally me and Hillary connected and we were gonna figure out a way to work together. And then BJ, it kind of expanded into that. So it was actually really powerful to work with them both in this process. So you'll kind of hear about their story a little bit in the next 10 minutes or so or less, about how it increased all areas of life, including business areas, but also their family and overall, and even their relationship. So it's really cool. So Hillary and BJ, so what was, so for the focus of this call, everyone listening to is we're going to focus individually as well, but we'll also expand as a whole. So keep that in mind. So what was the big problem that you were dealing with before we worked together? Hillary first, like what was the things that you were working on?
So I think I've worked in a lot of different things on mindset and how to apply different action. And I had a lot of knowledge, but I struggled with really how to apply the action and with my mindset. So I wanted to really work on that so that I could direct my energy into one focused area instead of being pulled in so many different areas.
Right. And that's so huge, is as we talked about, is finding that, we call it, like I call it the needle mover, is find that thing that drives you, that those actions that will help fulfill everything else. So that's huge. That it's a big problem to have, but it's also great to work through that and get the results you got. And then BJ, what about you? So what were the major things that you were working on and the problems that you had as far as mindset and everything else, clarity with the goal that we kind of talked about?
Basically, I was just living day to day. I didn't really have much of a sense of purpose, or certainly had no goals. And I was just looking to improve my home life with my kids, my relationship with my kids. I wanted to make it stronger, be a better father to them, and be a better husband to Hillary, and just wanted to improve all aspects of my personal life.
Right. And I love that you said what did you say? You're kind of going through the process. You didn't have like a big goal
the
written
day to
out.
day, just
Right.
living
A
each
lot.
day as it came.
I think that's relatable because I think it's like 97 out of 100 people, they don't have a clearly defined goal. And if they have one, it's not the right goal and they don't write it down. So they don't actually know what they want, which fulfillment as well leads to a lack of fulfillment. And then there's people that have all the money in the world, but they still lack fulfillment. So it's like so many different polarities in this sense. So I think that's awesome. That's relatable, not that you were going through that, but that you were able to work on this and establish a goal, which we'll talk about. So the next question it brings me to is, why did both of you, we can answer this in any order. Why did you choose, well, Hillary first, why did you choose to work with me specifically over anybody else? Like, did you have other options you were looking at, but why, what made you know that you wanted to work with someone like me?
I would say it was kind of like an intuition thing. Like it came across on one of my holistic pages that I was looking at, and I liked your energy. I definitely realized that you knew and were talking about a lot of the things that I had looked into. And it was clear that you were applying those actions, which is what I was struggling to do. And so you were, very open, authentic, had good integrity. And so I think that that's ultimately how we came to be. I wasn't necessarily looking for any type of coaching. It just is what fell in my lap. And
Love that.
so, yeah.
So it's kind of like a natural occurrence. And then obviously you
Yeah.
talked to BJ about it, which kind of brought him on board.
Yeah.
But BJ, what was your initial impression of me? You're like, who is this guy? What is this thing we're doing? And like, what was your,
Yes.
because there's going to be a lot of people that watch this and it's like, they're in a relationship or they're married or they have a boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. And it's either you're growing or you're going the opposite way. And sometimes I talk to a lot of people, it's like one person wants to improve and the other person just doesn't even know what coaching is, or they don't even know what personal development is, or they think it's a scam or something like that, right? So from your perspective, how did you go into that, like trusting the process? And because I remember when we first talked, you were open-minded, but at the same time, you're like, do I want to do something like this? So what was going through your mind so people can that are maybe in that position that watch this, they can be like, oh, maybe something like this is for me?
I think a lot of it had to do with I wanted to improve our relationship, and I didn't want to just be stagnant, and I wanted to be a part of this with Hillary. I certainly had never heard of any kind of coaching or life choices, but I needed to make some changes in my life, and this was certainly a good route to go. And I think I more than anything else, I wanted to support Hillary in this whole process. And then, but the more I thought about it, I said this would be something for me too. And she brought me on the introductory call. We talked, for half hour. So I knew right off the bat that you were very, very easy to talk to, and you knew what you're talking about. And the program seemed like it was definitely something to help with all the aspects of my life I was looking for. So it was a pretty easy decision, and it's
Awesome.
been great.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. And we were talking about this. We think more couples should do these types of things. Like it's not
Absolutely.
normalized enough. That's a
It
big
has really
message.
brought us closer together, and it's really helped our relationship. Our
Yeah.
relationship, we've grown stronger together, and we've grown into a more powerful couple together.
Yeah, that's so key. And that brings us to the next kind of questions is, what did you love the most about this whole process working together? And then personally and business wise, because also I this type of content can change your whole life in either any area, like in their business or your life, or probably all of them at once, right? So what did you love the most about working together, and maybe even doing it together? We can add that in. And then, so it's a two-part question. What were your results internally and externally after applying what we taught? So for Hillary, the flotation, the coaching clients, the mindset, shifting everything. For BJ, you're able to set a goal, you're able to increase those all aspects of your life, including the family life at home, and improving that. So just tell us a little bit of a loaded question, but share a little bit about that. So what do you like most about working together in this process? And then also, what were some of those results that are internal and then tangible results?
Yeah. I mean, I would say definitely, like he said, it made our relationship stronger. I think whenever you're working on yourself to improve yourself, you lead by example. You can't control others, but the fact that we did it together meant that we were working on the same things in our mindset together. And so that brought us stronger. Whereas I feel like if I would have done this on my own and I would continue to grow and he wouldn't have, we could have really grown apart. But instead we were able to come together and really experience that transformation internally together.
Love that.
And as far as business wise, it just allowed me to be really clear on my passion and my focus, and make that decision to sell that service, because it was, it's a different season in our life with young kids, and being able to coach and consult with people is much more flexible for my life. And so I was very excited that I was able to make some tough decisions. But I felt like this program definitely helped me make those. And I have a lot of peace about the decisions that we've made.
Right. So aside from the personal stuff, you sold a business that you're working on, the flotation business. You started to speak on podcasts. You just did a in-person wellness seminar. You spoke there.
Yeah.
And you started to coach pay clients on improving their health and life. So like that shows a lot in the sense of personal life, and all that stuff is expanded, but then you're actually getting results in business as well, and big results. And then even from speaking at that seminar we just talked about, you had potential other clients that came up to you to, hey, how do I work with you? So you're attracting people to you, which is only going to expand over the next few months.
Yeah. Yep. And those were all part of my bigger vision. I wanted to be on some podcasts. I definitely wanted to start speaking at events. And so, I mean, all the things that I've written down and worked on over this time has come to fruition.
Right. And also, because I know I have a lot of people that are looking to start in the coaching, and they're scared to ask, put prices on their points and all that stuff. But you went from not doing that to getting clients, paid coaching clients. But that was a big mindset thing, right? So that was like a big shift in that. And then now you're helping these people, you're getting feedback from these people, seeing that they're having a great experience.
Yeah.
So I just want to drive home. It's just like that. The first steps to doing that is the key, and it's just going to expand out. So that's huge. That's so powerful. And that's a great example. BJ, and what about you? Like, what did you really like about working together? You kind of alluded on it a little bit, but and then what were some of those results that you actually got? And talk a little bit about, maybe it'll get some people interested too, about the youth development club and that new goal you have.
Okay. I think the biggest takeaway for me, especially as working working together on this, is just, it really opened up our line of communication, and setting goals, parental goals that, obviously we kind of had the same vision for our kids, but we never really sat down and actually came up with goals that we want to achieve for our kids. So it kind of really, it opened up our communication together as what we want to work towards as parents. And, a lot of the courses they had talked about, teamwork in the business aspect, but we turned it into our own team. So when we were going through the courses, we would just change it up and talk about our goals as a team together. We were the team, and it really helped us a stronger unit toward our kids. And it also made us more appreciative for what we have. I know we had a lot of conversations about, things we're grateful for, and, it really improved us that, and it really opened up our eyes to see, how grateful we are, and, how thankful we are, and instead of just, taking it for granted.
That's huge. Yeah. And then as far as the goal,
so for me, it really helped improve my family life, kind of change my perspective on how to deal with the kids, and my instead of being reactive with my emotions, my mindset is changing to help improve how I'm dealing with them, and incorporating them in more day-to-day activities.
So it'll take this type of work will take, like, a lot of people don't even know this. They're reacting to mostly everything in life. It helps you gain awareness so you can sit back and you can respond.
Mhm.
Family life, personal
That's
life,
what I was looking for,
relationships,
instead
and
of
business. So then you can kind of the different possibility, or you can dictate kind of the outcome the way that you want.
correct.
It's more calculated. So that's a big thing.
Yes.
A lot of people don't even understand the difference between reacting and responding, but there is a difference, and you can work on that. And it's a lifelong process too.
And that's
And
it.
then we talked about BJ too, is like, I mean, it usually goes hand in hand. If desire and not having a goal, like we talked about, can lead to a lack of fulfillment. So talk a little bit about that. It started that way, you're working on the mindset stuff, and now it's developed into this huge goal of that club. So talk
Yeah.
a little
So
bit about what that is. Yeah.
I'm starting a 4-H club in our county, and 4-H is the largest youth developmental club in the United States. And it's all about teaching kids life skills and life goals, and doing things for the community. And it's all about giving back to the community. When we started this 6 months ago, that I would have never even thought that I would want to do something like that. But this is a clear goal that I'm passionate about, and I'm really looking forward to this next chapter of my life.
Right. That's crazy, because like you just said, was the truth. When you started this, you probably wouldn't have thought you could. You didn't even want to. So you've
Right.
had that change internally that has led to that, which is huge. So thanks for sharing that as well. So I think that's we shared a lot here. So the big thing I want to drive home now is, I guess we can end it with this final question is, so there's probably some people watching this right now, going to watch the replay, right? We touched on different points, like how this helped in business, how it helped in family life, relationships, goals, everything, right? Like it just drove everything in all different areas, selling a business for Hillary. So if someone's watching this right now and they're thinking about like chatting with me, or they're scared to take that first step, or maybe they have a business and they just like, they're stuck like this, what would you say to them if they're kind of in that limbo stage or no man's land?
I would say take action. They were led to possibly want to chat with you for a reason. That was my whole thing. It doesn't hurt to make a phone call and just see if it's a good fit.
Sweet and simple. I love it.
Yeah.
Just chat with me and I won't bite.
Yeah. No, but I think that's what it's about, is connecting energies and just seeing if it's a good fit. If
And
they're interested in it, they should at least get on the phone.
Yeah, and the big thing, too, is like my goal. If it doesn't work out for some reason, it's like I really do my best to provide resources and lead, or I have a network of other entrepreneurs and stuff that I could be like, oh, this person can help you. You know what I mean? So it's like break through that fear, take action on something, and just do it, and you'll be okay. Is I think the main point there. And then BJ, what would you say too for people that are kind of stuck on like they're listening to this and they want to take an action and maybe they're not?
Don't delay. You won't regret it. Dan is just fantastic to work with. He's wise beyond his years. He can help you through countless situations, and just really has a way of communicating, fantastic communicator, and just really, really help you get to where you need to go and want to go.
I love that. I appreciate that from both of you. So we'll wrap things up here. So thank you so much, Hillary, BJ, sharing your stories, your transformations, being vulnerable for people and sharing personal stuff, inspiring others that are watching or going to watch this. So if you're watching this and it relates, if it piques curiosity, interest, if you have questions, I'll put a link into the comment section afterwards. You can book a call with me or just send me a direct message or a message on Instagram. Prefer not email, so message me. I'll respond, and we could figure out like what's that next step for you, whether it's in any of these areas or it's just something that you don't even know what's next. So I appreciate both of you for being here. I'm excited. It's just the beginning as well.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.